All right. Good morning, everyone. Hope your Saturday is off to a great start. We have a bit of a sunny afternoon on the way after a stormy start to the day. And let me fix this really quickly. There we go. That should work. Anyway, hopefully your day is off to a great start. Happy Saturday. Let me start again because I didn't have something streamed the right way so you were able to see what I was talking about. That is sunshine, everybody, after a stormy start, finally seeing some blue sky, and that will stick with us through most of the afternoon. I hope your morning off to a good start. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Courteney Jacobazzi. A bit of a stormy morning out there. A lot of you, maybe through the overnight hours, got woken up by the rain and thunderstorm activity. We did have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. We were watching a very stout line of storms that was tornado warned in Alabama early this morning as well. And thankfully, that did start to fall apart as it made its way into North Georgia. And we were left with really primarily just rain and storms and some gusty wind. So let's talk about what's going on out there right now. All of the thunderstorm activity along this front that brought us the rain and storms is now down in central Georgia and the Macon area and parts of eastern Georgia. We are now dry. All of us here in North Georgia are not dealing with rain anymore, and in fact the sunshine is starting to filter in. Now this system is the same one that brought the devastating severe weather to parts of Mississippi and Alabama. Thankfully, again, we got out much better than our friends out to the west, so we got very lucky with our very limited severe threat compared to what they are dealing with in Mississippi. We've heard the death count continue to grow throughout the day. I'm sure we'll continue to hear that. So really just some devastating news. They had a level 4 out of 5 severe weather threat. So we have that scale that we talk about. And I'm actually going to show you a graphic because we do have another severe threat tomorrow. But the level 4 and 5s are really reserved for days where the Storm Prediction Center and the meteorologists who work under that are 100% positive that there's going to be some sort of outbreak situation, a tornado outbreak situation with long track tornadoes. And unfortunately, that is what ended up happening in parts of Mississippi yesterday. So definitely thinking about them. And of course, for us here at home, for all of our families, we're glad that that was able to kind of weaken as it made its way our way. So now that the front is moving out, we're actually going to be quite windy today, very breezy. And there is a wind advisory for the higher elevations of the mountains. So our far northern counties through 8 o'clock tonight. So if you are planning on heading to the mountains this weekend, just keep in mind it will be breezy today, so just be careful driving around. That rain again will continue to move off to the southeast. We'll continue to see sunshine filter in. Temperatures today will climb into the low 80s this afternoon, so if you have any plans, it'll be a nice and warm day. No need for the jacket. It'll be a sunglasses and shorts kind of day, a more summer-like day than a spring-like day. We could maybe have an isolated storm later this evening, but for the most part, all of that will stay to our south. Of course, lots of events going on, one of them being the Food and Wine Festival. That goes on all weekend long. Today it'll go from, I believe, 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. But either way, through the afternoon, it'll be sunny, it'll be breezy. So if you are a vendor, I'm sure you're probably already out there setting up. But nonetheless, you want to make sure those tents are extra secure today because the wind is not going to be your friend with the tents today or any of the objects sitting on the tables. So make sure all your things, all your loose objects are secured no matter what you're doing today, including the Food and Wine Festival. And our team of First Alert meteorologists will be there throughout the weekend. I'll be there tomorrow, and a handful of our meteorologists will be there today as well. So go ahead and go out there and say hello and enjoy some wonderful food and wine for the weekend over in Marietta. So now this front moved in, and it's not going to leave us alone quite yet. So it's going to stall to our south. And what that's going to do is serve as a focal point for showers and storms. So it will keep most of the rain and storm activity along and south of I-20 tomorrow, but it is still, of course, going to impact some of our viewing area technically. So where we're going to really be watching tomorrow is places like Troup and Meriwether, Lamar and Pike County, Butts County, parts of Spalding County, maybe southern Coweta and Fayette County tomorrow, Jasper and Putnam County. Notice the level 1 of 5 extends into the metro. So we will be watching for maybe an isolated severe storm in the metro, but really I think we're going to be focused south of I-20. The greatest severe threat is definitely outside of our viewing area, so those of you who can watch us on TV, I think it's mainly going to be down in central Georgia, more towards the Macon area, but still definitely have a handful of our counties under that level 2 for tomorrow. And we're not going to have just one line of storms. We'll actually have a couple of rounds of storms. We'll be looking for damaging wind, Also the potential for some small hail, and then maybe an isolated tornado or two as well. I do think that's possible, but again, I think that tornado threat's definitely going to be a little further south of us, but it's not to be ruled out for us here in North Georgia either. So let's take you through it. Tomorrow morning, we'll get a round of storms. We'll get kind of a wave of energy to roll through, and we will have some sort of dynamics for thunderstorm activity tomorrow morning, including maybe a strong storm. So again, you're south of I-20, you're maybe heading to early church service tomorrow, you're getting up and at it to start your day, run some errands. Keep in mind, if you are in places, again, like Coweta County, Fayette County, maybe even parts of Henry County, early in the morning, you're going to get the first round of rain and storms, maybe a strong storm as we head through the morning. The day should be primarily dry. At least that's what this model is saying. The models have been going back and forth. These little waves of energy, especially when you have that front stalled to the south, you always know, okay, if we have a front stalled to our south, that's really where the focal point's going to be. But we're having these kind of impulses come through, and those are a little smaller scale, so models have a harder time pinpointing exactly where and when they're going to set up. But right now it looks like we're favoring a morning round of rain with a drier afternoon, and models have definitely been consistent on this second wave of rain late in the evening. So a first alert for tomorrow because of the potential for those severe storms. First round in the morning, the second late at night. Now, you'll see on the 7-day, our rain chance is only about a 40% for Sunday, and that's because of the morning coverage of rain and then the late evening coverage of rain. For the most part, your day on Sunday is going to be dry. Now, here's that second round of rain, so let's talk about it. This will move in around 11 o'clock at night, heavy rain, gusty wind. Notice this. So see how this becomes a little more organized and it becomes more of a linear structure like that? When this happens, this indicates to me a bowing line of storms, and when you get those bows like that, you get the really, really gusty wind out ahead of them. So I am thinking that we'll have at least some sort of damaging wind gust threat through the overnight hours on Sunday into Monday. And this rain will continue into Monday morning. So your Monday morning commute could be a little bit on the wet side. And we're just going to stay unsettled into the start of the week. As long as that front stays south, that's going to provide some extra lift and energy in our atmosphere for rain and storms to ultimately fire up along. It does look like we will start to dry out more so by the middle of the week. In the meantime, here's a look. You can kind of see where that front's stalling out, because notice down in parts of Jasper and Putnam County, you almost see that purple color reaching into central Georgia. That's upwards of 4 to 5 inches of rain through the end of the week, with most of our rain coming from today, tomorrow, and Monday. But about half an inch of rain up in our far northern counties, places like LJ, the Blue Ridge area, Gainesville, Rome. And then once you get into inside the perimeter, downtown Atlanta, parts of Cobb County, Gwinnett County, DeKalb County, we're thinking anywhere between 1 to 2 inches of rain. And I do think we could have some isolated amounts higher than 2 inches of rain over the next several days. So we will be watching for maybe some isolated flash flooding as well. We've been in this kind of wet pattern recently. So it's something we'll be watching for. If any kind of flash flood watch or any kind of flash flood warning comes out, we'll let you know. Right now, we're not in any of that, but something we'll be watching for closely over the next couple of days. So just a good reminder, if you see any standing water somewhere, don't drive into it. That's not a safe thing to do. So just be extra cautious as we kind of set up into this rainy end to the weekend and start to the work week. So today, maybe a pop-up shower or storm. That's why I kept that 20% chance of rain there. Low 80s today, upper 70s, low 80s, and breezy. And then as we head into Sunday, another first alert with the first round of rain and storms mainly setting up along and south of I-20, maybe an isolated severe storm early tomorrow morning. I do think the primary threats for us will be damaging winds and hail, but we will be watching for some rotation in those storms, as you can't completely rule that out, ultimately leading to an isolated tornado threat. And then we'll get that second round of rain through the overnight hours. So that 40% coverage, again, really for that morning batch of rain and the rain that rolls in late in the evening. Most of your day Sunday will not be impacted. So don't look at that 40% and be like, oh no, I have to rearrange my plans on Sunday. Right now you don't. But little disclaimer is that if the models change, because these little impulses can be really tough to track, you just want to pay attention to the forecast, especially tomorrow morning and tonight, so you can kind of plan around your Sunday in case you need to kind of rearrange some plans. But right now, it looks like most of the day is dry on Sunday. The rain rolls in through the overnight, sticks around through Monday morning, so scattered showers and storms will be possible through the day on Monday. Definitely want to kind of pack the umbrella with you. And then Tuesday, most of the rain sets up south of I-20. Most of us will be dry, and that cooler air will start to finally usher in along that front as it keeps sinking south. So we'll be in the mid to upper 60s Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, partly cloudy and low 70s. Friday, we stay dry for most of the day, mostly cloudy. We could have a few showers out ahead of our next weather system that could be on the way for next weekend, something we'll be watching. But in the meantime, again, tomorrow, definitely a day to be weather aware, have the First Alert weather app. If any severe storms pop up in your area, you will be alerted about it. We will be here to cover it for you. So good idea to have that app as we head into the spring severe weather season, which, by the way, we do have a spring severe weather special that the weather team put together. Our First Alert meteorologists all did a handful of projects. That's going to air tonight at 5 o'clock, so you'll definitely want to tune into that and learn about thunderstorms. You'll want to learn some safety tips for spring severe weather season. Definitely a nice little tidbit as we get ready to head into the spring severe weather season, which seems to already be kicking off for parts of the southeast. So a good thing to watch to just kind of brush up on some of your severe weather knowledge. We're going to talk about some past severe weather events in the spring. And so really, really cool stuff on that special. You'll definitely want to tune in for that. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy the sunshine today. It really is going to be a beautiful afternoon after a stormy morning. And we'll catch you here next time.